Hey, it's the Mike Rogers Show. Today we have part 2 of our interview with the one, the only, the world famous Miss Natalie Sweet. Yay!
Hello.
So Natalie, yesterday you were telling me that you've never heard your song on the radio?
No, I've never been like driving in the car and heard it or anything.
Wow.
But I know it's not. I know it's on there. I see the lists.
Yeah, but hearing your song on the radio is like when I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's like such an enlightening moment when on the radio you're just listening and all of a sudden there's your song and then you're so amazed and then you want to tell mom and dad and everything. But so
have you ever seen that movie, That Thing You Do?
No.
Well, there's like an amazing scene where the band hears their song on the radio for the first time and they're all like running and screaming and freaking out. And I just can't wait for that moment. I know it's going to happen someday.
Wait a minute. This is too bright. Oh, really?
People on Facebook. Like I'm connected to several people, but I don't, we're like friends. I consider that friends. We're like in the rock and roll world together, Let
me see. Are you and I friends?
Yeah.
We are? Okay, good. Good. So I wanted to ask you about one thing I wanted to ask you about. Tim Thomas from wait a minute. I gotta get a plug in. Tim Thomas from
Second Scene, baby.
Second Scene magazine. Tim Thomas.
That's right. We go way back.
How do you know him?
I know Tim from when I was in college. I went to the University of Pittsburgh, and so did his brother. And I'm a music kid, so I would go see his band, Silver Thread.
What was it called?
The Silver Thread.
Silver Thread. I didn't know that. He never told me.
Punk, like cool. We had like a cool little music scene of like, there was like this group of a bunch of friends and a lot of people were in bands and the bands were all kind of different, but we would all like super support each other's shows. I mean, I was like writing a blog.
You were the party queen.
Yeah, I was like, the show was cool tonight, sounded really great. Like trying to be, I wanted to be like a music journalist. So I would just like hang out in the background. And I was also younger than everyone, had like a fake ID and stuff like that.
Oh, that's illegal, Natalie.
I did that. And I would see Tim's band play and became buddies with his friends and his brother. I actually see his older brother all the time in LA. So it's kind of funny. We're all still connected, which is awesome. Tim's really such a cool guy. And it's so rad that he's doing the magazine.
Yeah. Actually, I write for that magazine.
I know.
Oh, you do? Oh, you know. Okay.
I pay attention. Mike, I pay attention.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So tell us about working with Brad Marino. Brad doesn't live in LA, does he?
No, Brad lives in New Hampshire.
So how do you guys make a record? You made a record, right?
We did. We did a single together. There we are.
Wow.
And basically during the early part of the pandemic when everybody was kind of locked down, like going into a winter, I wasn't in LA. I was actually in Toronto, Canada for a period of time, like hiding out basically. And so I couldn't really do much because Toronto was like pretty locked down. So I was feeling like very alone. So I went on Facebook and I was like, this is so weird, but like, does anyone want to like make music, like write songs with me? I have all these like half ideas. I write so well when I work with, a partner, but I'm alone in Canada. So who's out there? And a bunch of people hit me up. I mean, it was actually pretty cool. A lot of people who, again, I'm like connected to online, but have never met maybe in person.
Mm-hmm.
But we like respect each other and whatever. And Brad and I had like become aware of each other because like the year that my solo album came out, 2019, he had one come out as well. And we were like in a top 3 on the Faster and Louder blog.
Wow.
So yeah, I think Brad was 3, I was 2, and then Pale Lips.
All right.
Right. It was so good. So all of us started becoming friends, like, because we were like, I have to check out this band. Oh, they're so cool, you know. So we all became like fans of each other. Brad and I had like known each other from that. And we had talked online several times before about like, oh, let's cover a Muff song together or do some kind of collab together. We just been toying with that, like blah, blah. Then the pandemic happens. I put the thing on Facebook and he reached out and was like, hey, I would want to work on some stuff with you. And I was like, cool. So what we originally did was like, I sent him a song I had basically written the chorus to and a verse that, so I wrote like the melody of it, but I was just singing it into my phone. Classic how I do it. Cause I wrote it in the shower. So I sang it into the phone and I was like, I think this could be a cool song, but it needs like everything. And he was like, cool. And then he sent me a song he'd started that had like music and just a chorus or an idea of a chorus. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to write the lyrics to this and create like the story in this song to like help him. So originally I think we were both going to help each other and then each take our own songs back to our own album. But once we started demoing it out, he like really, you know, he's in New Hampshire and he's got a bunch of his buddies that play in all these bands with him and they have studios and it's very easy for them to like whip up a pretty good demo. And I was just like sitting in an apartment in Toronto. So they're like whipping up these demos and it sounded like pretty cool, all of us on it together. So he was like, why don't we just do a collaborated, like a double A-side single and release it as both of us. And then it would be cool for both of us. And I was like, that's a good idea. So we did. Wow. So basically, he and his friends recorded the music part and I recorded my vocal in Los Angeles. And then we had it all like mixed and mastered together. So we would like get each piece and like send it back and forth to each other and like weigh in on all the parts. And then that's how it came together. So funnily, we have never hung out in person yet.
Wait, so you've never met Brad?
Not in person. Yeah, we've done like Zoom and we've talked. I was texting him earlier today actually, but we've never met in person. So yet we will. So it's kind of funny. It came together like totally like pen pals almost.
Yeah, and this record that you guys have made has done pretty well, hasn't it?
Yeah, like a lot of people like it, which is really cool. Brad is like a very accomplished musician with like a lot of credits behind his name. So it's really extra special for me because I get to like get pulled up with his awesomeness. But it's nice. It exposes us both to like different audiences and it's fun. It's really been cool. And like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this yet, but I'm fairly certain we're going to be playing a show together in June in New York.
Wow. Oh, you're going out to New York. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I think we're going to Brad's going to like be my band, get a band together and we'll do Natalie, but we'll do our duets and stuff like that together as well. That's the plan.
Okay. So you gotta tell Brad something. Yeah, of course I know who he is. And I don't know if he sends me his music or some promoter sends me his music, but I rarely play it. And let me explain why. Because I think basically the radio industry is very male dominated. And that goes for even the DJs.
Yeah.
So I play 98% female bands only. That's all I play.
I do like that.
So that's why, I see Brad's songs and I see, they're on this chart and I just think like, I don't need to play it because he's got such a good name and he does make good songs. I like his songs.
Yeah.
but I'm kind of have it's not a policy, but kind of my mental screw up. I just think like, no, the girls need help, and so that's what I'm going to do. And that
we like a boost, you know.
So yeah, on my I have a show on WFMU. Do you know this station? Yeah. So I only play girl bands.
I love that.
And I basically play Japanese girl bands on that show.
Very cool.
Because there's so many Japanese girl bands.
And they're all good.
And they're all good. And
yeah.
But then I have a local show here in Japan on a big FM station, and that, wait a minute, I have a recording today, and I am going to play you, I believe, wait a minute, Natalie.
Yay!
Wait a minute, that's the wrong.
I want to come to Japan, so let's get me some Japanese fans.
I'm going to play Don't Worry, Babe.
I love that song.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so that's just what I do, you know?
Love it.
I think I got that from Rodney.
Yeah, that's from my self-titled album.
Yeah, that's a great album, and that's very popular in Japan.
Thank you. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, a lot of people who are, cool people and musicians. I wanted to ask you, so are you at this moment, are you recording now, or do you have a tour set up?
I don't right now. I've been playing in other people's bands a lot in LA. So I just have hopefully this show that I'm going to do with Brad in New York at the Fear City Fest.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have all the details yet, so I probably shouldn't say.
That's okay.
I would like to start playing locally in LA. I just haven't really gotten a group together at the moment. But I'm playing with last year I played in Josie Cotton's band.
Yes.
So and I've also been playing with my friend Zach Davis, who is a kind of a punk musician that's had a bunch of projects. He's doing a solo thing, so I've been playing some bass for him as well. And then I own a business, so I do my job a lot, and I have to do the music on the side, Yeah. So
I wanted to ask you about your business. It's called Bunnies.
Yeah, it's called Bunnies. It's it's a beauty shop.
It's a beauty shop. I thought it was a bar.
No, it's a little private beauty studio. It's gonna sound weird to you probably, but I'm like an eyebrow expert. I do eyebrows.
Oh,
that's a thing. And
can you help me with mine? And
I can. You have nice eyebrows.
So it's a boutique eyebrow studio?
Yeah, I mostly do brows, and I also do cosmetic tattooing, which is like the brows, the lips, and the lash line. So just little subtle things to keep us cute. Yeah.
So okay, well promote it. What's the address of Bunnies?
I'm on York Boulevard in Highland Park in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's bunniesla.com and on Instagram. Okay,
so you're gonna send me photos, and did you send me photos already? I think you did. And I wanted to ask you about Josie Cotton. Yeah. I know Josie Cotton too.
Yeah.
And I interviewed her for a magazine, and then I had a film festival in Japan, and she was one of the she was the head jury of the but Corona happened and she couldn't come here. It was, but we still had the festival. It was really great. 302 people came.
Wow.
So cool. I wanted to have it. So how do you know Josie?
I just met her, last year, about a year ago. Actually, I think she was hoping to come to Japan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know.
they didn't have they're trying to get a band together that could do that trip. And they had most of the members, but they wanted, in a perfect world, they wanted a female bass player that could also sing. And I was like over here minding my own business. And then Melanie Vanman, who plays with Josie, and Travis Raymond, who had been playing with her as well, they asked a bunch of like famous people if they could do it. And everyone was like, I want to, but I'm not available. Then they were like, well, we'll just ask our friend that's fun to hang out with. So they called me and were like, do you think you could like do this? And I was like, I don't know if I can. And they were like, we'll just send you some music and you can like audition for Josie. And if it's a fit, that's cool. And if it's not, that's fine. And I was like, okay, I'll try. And so I went in and like auditioned with her. And I think I played like one song and she started smiling and she was like, okay, you're it. And I was like, oh, okay. And so it was like very fast. And then, she asked me if I could do a show with her and Melanie a couple months down the road. And I said, yes. And basically from there, I've just said yes to all the opportunities. And so I spent the last year playing a lot of shows with Josie, which was really fun,
She's so nice. So about this time, I guess, they were trying to arrange the Japan show and they kept asking.
It's exactly this time last year, because this is exactly when I met.
So they kept asking me about it, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you guys, because the Japanese government makes an announcement every day, and every day it's different. And at this point in time, they are not allowing anyone to come to Japan.
Right.
So they just opened it up last year in October.
Wow. Yeah. So that's funny, because that's like kind of was the catalyst for me getting involved with her. And then, that didn't happen. So all these other things happened instead, but still haven't made it to Japan yet. But I will find my way there. I will find my way.
Yeah. So I gotta interview Josie Cotton, I guess, for this show. But I hate to keep asking her, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. And then I can't do anything back for them.
She loves Japan. So I'm sure that she'd be happy to chat to people in Japan. She's really always wanted to go there. So.
Oh, she's never been?
No, that's what's really wild. I mean, she really like deeply loves about Japan, but she's never been there in person. Like same with me.
I thought that she had been here.
Oh. No, that was kind of part of the like reason why they were really trying to make it happen.
So I was talking with Tower Records to arrange a Best of Josie Cotton CD or record or whatever it is, and then she would come over here and tour to support sales of the record. But COVID happened, and I don't know what happened, and it just didn't happen. So
but it happens sometimes. But she's been out there like playing a lot in the last year and still working on new stuff, and it's cool. It's definitely like kind of insane for me to be like sharing a stage with Melanie Vanman from the Pandoras and Josie Cotton. I'm just like, how did this happen to me? But
that's cool though.
It's the coolest thing. It's like, honestly, it's nuts. It's like, I've just been very fortunate in my life to have been hanging around long enough that like I've gotten to meet and work with some people that I've like looked up to since I was a teenager, and it's like unbelievable and just amazing how gracious everybody can be.
Do you have any last messages for your Japanese audience?
Well, I love you so much. I really want to meet you in person. And I don't know. I just thank you for listening to my music. It just warms my heart so much. And I'm thrilled to be on the airwaves in Japan. I can't even explain it.
So that's okay. Thank you so much, Natalie Sweet, for giving us time. and having this interview. And you're a good talker.
I sure am.
Sometimes I do these interviews and I'm like thinking, oh no. And
awkward. Yeah.
It's like, can you introduce yourself? Yeah, my name's, Chad. I'm like, okay.
More.
So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to Miss Natalie Sweet. Yay! We hope to see her in Japan soon. Listen to the Mike Rogers Show because you can hear her music all the time. And thank you so much, Natalie-san.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. So if you like this video, go down here, click like and subscribe to the Mike Rogers Show, and go check out Natalie's webpage. Information is down below. See you later. Bye.
Bye.